Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Battle Spot Doubles episode. So, last week we played 2 QR code teams, a request from one of the guys on the channel, so it was a really good episode. We got to feature that Teraki and Whimsicott combination, and another Mega Salamence, Dragon Dance and Mega Salamence, which is really cool. This week, we are going to play another QR code team. Just in the run-up to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I'm going to probably just play QR code teams. So if you've got requests coming in, just let me know, and we will get those featured for you. So, last week on the channel, Daniel Hazard, the man himself, requested that we use a Mega Scizor team. So I was like, yeah, sure, that would be great. And in the interim period between then and now, I've been looking a lot at Rotom-H anyway, and I really feel like Rotom-H has a really nice place within this metagame, and just from its typing, its ability, the levitate on it, I think it can perform really well. So it's something I've been looking at quite a lot, and also with Gastrodon as well, because obviously the big issue with Rotom-H is the water type attacks, rain especially, and Gastrodon kind of alleviates that to some extent. And then when I was looking through the global link for QR code teams, I stumbled across this one looking for Mega Scizor teams, and it had the Rotom-H and the Gastrodon in it. So I was like, oh, brilliant. So this team is from a Japanese player called Leo. That's his online handle. So he's kindly put this up on the global link. As always, I will link the QR code team in the description below if you guys want to go away after this episode and try it out for yourselves. And there is a blog post as well, just kind of going over what some of the hidden abilities, the EVs, and the basic strategy of the team are. So I'll also link that as well for you guys to check out and have a look at. But just to cover the team, so we've got the Scizor there. It is holding the Scizorite. It's got Protect, Roost, Bug Bite, and Bullet Punch. We've got the Rotom-H, which is holding the Citrus Berry, Protect, Overheat, Thunderbolt, and a really cool kind of selection. You know, you normally have Will-O-Wisp there. It's got Electro Web, and that's something that we saw Lyo pilot at the 2015 World Championships, getting top 8 with a tech like that on his Rotom. We've got the Gastrodon, which has Protect, Ice Beam, Scald, and Earth Power. How much has Gastrodon missed Earth Power this format? Oh my god, I think it would be such a different format in a lot of ways if Gastrodon had access to Earth Power. It would be so much better than what it has been in this format. So 2017, what I'm referring to anyway. So let's hope that the move tutors get introduced in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Earth Power is one of them. Then we've got Raikou, another Pokemon that we featured last week and performed so well, so it's really nice to have it back this week. A little bit of a different variation though, holding the Assault Vest, so a much more bulky variant. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Snarl, and Hidden Power Ice. Then we've got Tapu Bulu, which is also very good for the team, you know, providing that ground immunity, terrain control as well. It is holding Choice Scarf, which is a really nice option there. Woodhammer, Hornleech, Superpower, and Rock Slide. And then we round things off with Salamence. It isn't a Mega Salamence though, it is just a regular old Salamence. Holding the Draganium Z with Protect, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power, and it is Hidden Power Ground. So it's quite a nice team, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting into the battle spot and just trying it out. So hopefully it works quite well. But like I say guys, we've got like one more week before Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon come out, so probably one more Battle Spot Doubles episode, and then we might do a stream Battle Spot Doubles. I might have a team finished for next week on the stream, so we'll do Battle Spot Doubles next week on the stream. This week we're going to be doing viewer battles, so tomorrow 8 PM UK time, Greenwich Mean Time, come by. We are doing viewer battles, so it should be a lot of fun. But next week we'll do Battle Spot Doubles, and hopefully I'll have the team that I'm currently working on finished for that, and then that gives us a nice send off into Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So we have our first opponent of the day running a rain team. Excellent. With that Ludicolo, the Gastrodon is not going to really want to face down against, but no Pelipper, so it makes it a little bit easier for Tapu Bulu to operate. We've got Amoonguss, Scizor, Tapu Lele, Manectric, Ludicolo, and Politoed. So we're probably looking at Mega Manectric here with that Tapu Lele, which is quite a fast defensive call. We've got the Scizor there is quite an interesting choice because with Scizor and Lele it kind of contradicts itself. You know, you can't use the bullet punches and things like that if the Psychic Train's on the field. So what are we going to do against this? I think we probably want to have Gastrodon, but the issue is that Ludicolo. I think Raikou's going to be really nice here, just in general. especially with the Assault Vest. Maybe Raikou Scizor, maybe Tapu Bulu, and do we go Gastrodon? Or Salamence? I think probably Gastrodon. Okay. I think the Amoonguss is going to be a bit awkward to kind of deal with. But we'll see how we get on. And maybe Rotom was a good option to bring here, especially with that Electro Web, and we've got Gastrodon to kind of protect it from the water type attacks. But we'll see how my opponent approaches this one. You see Ludicolo Politoed, that old familiar combination come out for my opponent. Politoed going to get the rain up. And my opponent does have access to Fake Out as well, but because we've got Raikou on the field, I think what I'm going to have to do is probably... I mean, this turn, what do we do? There's Fake Out there. I think we Mega Evolve. For sure. And what's my opponent probably going to Fake Out? Is it going to be... Because the Bug Bite's really threatening onto that Ludicolo. Let's just protect Scizor here and see if we can get a Snarl off with our Raikou. Like, Raikou with the Assault Vest should be able to take a combination of water type attacks quite comfortably. We are going to see Manectric come in. He's going to get an Intimidate off if it goes for the Mega Evolve next turn, I should say. He's going to have access to Lightning Rod at the moment. That is if it is a Mega as well. So, I'm just going to protect Scizor. Giga Drain coming out into the Scizor, so we will get a Snarl off with our Raikou, which is pretty nice. Does decent damage to that Manectric as well, and the best thing is we're lowering all of the special attack power and prowess of these Pokemon. So I'll just go for another Snarl, and I think Tapu Bulu's not a bad switch in here. Yeah, let's switch in Tapu Bulu. Keep Scizor around for later on. Mega Scizor looks so cool. I always forget about Mega Scizor. It's like one of those Pokemon because it's so good in its regular form, so you never really think like it's worth kind of putting the Mega Stone on it sometimes. But its design is just so cool. I love its design. And we're in a nice position now where we can just continue going for those Snarls with Raikou. Any switches in from my opponent's end, it's going to degrade their kind of ability to throw out huge special type attacks. And my opponent has to be kind of wary that like Gastrodon could be an option to come in at any point as well. So whether they want to throw out big water type attacks or not is another thing as well. So we'll bring Bulu in, get that grassy terrain up, and Manectric is going to Mega Evolve. It is going to get that Intimidate off now. It probably wants to just start cycling, so we'll probably see it go for a Volt Switch. Yeah. And I wonder if we'll see a Giga Drain into that slot where my opponent kind of covers themselves, where if Gastrodon comes in there, then they Giga Drain into it, so at least they're doing decent damage regardless. You see Scizor come in for my opponent. Scald come out this time though, so no covering. But we do get the Snarl off. Okay. So everything will take a little bit of health recovery from this grassy terrain. Now we know the Politoed and the Manectric are in the back for my opponent, so we could potentially T-ball into the Scizor slot. Well, We could double into the Scizor, to be honest. Might go for a Bullet Punch without into the Bulu. I've got to imagine the Ludicolo probably wants to switch out at this point. So we could bring in our Scizor just to preserve Bulu. Or we could just go for an attack and take advantage of this position, to be honest. Like Volt Switching and Superpower into the Scizor. Let's see. So there's a Ludi withdrawal. Probably going to see Manectric come back in. Yeah, it's going to get another Intimidate off. Just got to hope that a Superpower, which is going to be -2, and a Volt Switch is going to be enough. It's nowhere near enough. And if Bulu gets attacked now, it's not going to be great. But we can bring in Gastrodon. It's going to be pretty safe in front of these two. Bug Bite. Okay. I think we want to get Bulu off the field right now and maybe go for an Ice Beam into that Scizor and get Raikou back onto the field. We'll probably see the Manectric just go for another Volt Switch into that Bulu slot. But Gastrodon should be alright here. I mean, the Manectric and the Scizor might double into the Gastrodon. That could be an option for them. The Hidden Power, Ice, and a Bug Bite could be enough to take it down. So Raikou coming in for Bulu. We're going to see Scizor switch out for Ludicolo. Thunder coming out. Okay. Raikou able to take that quite comfortably. And the rain will be stopping soon. Everything taking their health back through that grassy terrain. And the recovery there for Gastrodon, so we get quite a bit of health back. I think we protect Gastrodon, and let's just Snarl with Raikou. We don't need to worry about water type attacks. I mean, Giga Drain could come out from the Ludicolo. It's going to be boosted with this grassy terrain as well. But I think we should take it. You'd imagine the Ludi wants to go for the Giga Drain into the Gastrodon, really. Volt Switch. Oh, okay. Into the... yeah, okay. It's doing quite a bit of damage, that, isn't it? And the grassy terrain really helping it out there. We do get the Snarl off. And the rain does stop. So let's get Gastro out of here, bring Bulu back in, and I think because we outspeed Ludicolo here with Raikou, we could potentially get I'm going to Volt Switch in on the Manectric slot because I really feel like we might see the Politoed come in there. And I think the Manectric, because it's snarled, it probably wants to Volt Switch out, reset that. Yeah. So Volt Switch into the Bulu. Got to imagine that the Politoed comes in now. So let's see. Could be the Scizor, but then I don't mind because we'll probably pick up the KO onto the Scizor. And it's the Politoed. So we will catch it with a Volt Switch, which is going to be nice. It is going to get the rain back up. We do decent damage to it. And we'll bring in Scizor. Because I don't think there's really much chance of a water type attack coming out right now. With Gastrodon being on the field at the start of this turn. Giga Drain coming out into the Bulu. But yeah, Bulu able to take that quite comfortably. Right, I think this turn we double into the Ludicolo with... Oh, okay. Horn Leech and a Bug Bite. Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Helping Hand coming up from Politoed. We do actually outspeed the Ludicolo. With Bulu in the rain, so that's quite good. And an Ice Beam coming out, so we will get this Bug Bite off. And we do take that Helping Hand Ice Beam. Because of the Snarl there, it does help us out. And the Bug Bite going to be able to finish Ludi off, which is nice. So we'll probably see the Manectric come in now. Going to get that Intimidate off. We do need to be a little bit wary of Manectric because they do have access to Overheat. But Gastrodon's in a really nice position now to kind of just come back in. So I'm going to bring Gastro in. I'm just going to protect Scizor this turn. Just to scout out any overheat, potential overheats coming out from my opponent. Like Politoed's not really in the position to do anything too heavy with Gastrodon coming onto the field. So we should be alright. And if we can help it to quicken the matchup, let's not try and bring Tapu Bulu in again and get that Grassy terrain up. So Bulu going out. Gastrodon going to come in. It's not really threatened by any fire type attacks, electric type attacks or anything like that. Just protects Scizor here. And there's a Volt Switch into that Scizor slot. Okay. In this turn we can just go for an Earth Power into Manectric, and I think let's just switch in Raikou as well. Because Raikou should be able to take a Helping Hand Volt Switch from a Manectric. It's resisted, so with the Assault Vest as well, you've got to imagine even from the range that we are, we take that. And then we're in a nice position to kind of just close the matchup. If Scizor comes in on that Manectric slot, then the Earth Power, I think it's in range probably to go down to an Earth Power. If it doesn't go for the Volt Switch, then we'll take it down with the Earth Power either way. So, Thunder coming out. No helping hand this turn, but Raikou able to take that quite comfortably. Politoed going for an Ice Beam, doubling into that slot. But again, because of that Assault Vest, we're able to take that. And Earth Power, like I said, should take this Manectric down. Which it does. And now we do need to be a bit careful when this Scizor comes back in, because it can Bullet Punch to KO Raikou from this range. And we kind of want to keep Raikou. Like, we don't need to keep Raikou around. We've got Tapu Bulu in the back. They can come in and just clean up that Politoed at any point it wants to. But come on, fella. There we go. There's that Scizor. So yeah. Let's go for a Scald, and we'll switch out into our own Scizor. And like, we've got there's no risk of doing this. Like, there's no Scald potentially coming out from the Politoed, and my opponent knows that at this point, so just forfeiting the game. But very good game, and a nice start to the episode. Bit of a long one, that one, so hopefully our next game's a little bit quicker. But it's nice to feature Mega Scizor, and especially in the first game as well, because sometimes you pick a team based around something and you can't really get it going straight away. So it was nice to kind of see it do a job there. And against a pretty threatening core as well, like Rain. But I think you could kind of see in that match how threatening just the presence of Gastrodon was in that match. My opponent not really wanting to launch off any big water type attacks at really any point of the game, because of the threat of that coming in, even when they had like Ludicolo out on the field. So Gastrodon, such a good Pokemon with that Storm Drain ability. But we have our next opponent, and they are running a team of Charizard, Hitmontop, Mudsdale, Cresselia, Bishop, and Sylveon. So a really actually cool looking team. You know, you've got the Charizard, which is probably the mega of the team, Charizard Y, you've got to imagine. It pairs up nicely with that fairy type Sylveon. You've definitely got a Trick Room switch in the team with that Cresselia to support the Mudsdale. Fake Out, Intimidate support from the Hitmontop, and then you've got Bishop, which will have that Defiant ability. So we need to be a little bit careful with how and when we bring Salamence, not to activate that as well. And to be in all honesty here, I don't know if Salamence is really the right pick here. You know, it's not going to fare too well against Sylveon or Cresselia if it's got access to Ice Beam. The Intimidate is nice, but I think we've got better options elsewhere. I think we definitely want Rotom-H here. I think Raikou again is really good. Tapu Bulu is definitely a good shout. It's just we've got nothing to really stop the Trick Room. That's the big problem of the whole thing. Scizor's definitely going to be good. Let's go with that. Just looking over the team as well, I think Trick Room is quite a hard matchup for this team. It's quite middling speedy. It's got like the Gastrodon, which is slow there, but other than that, it's not got too much to kind of get around it. There's no taunt, there's no roar or anything like that to get around it. So let's see how we get on. We see Bishop and Charizard come up for my opponent, and we've got Rotom-H and Raikou. Okay, so we could Volt Switch into the thing is with both of the Pokemon I've got out in the field, we've got like Electroweb, which allows speed, and Snarl, which allows special attack. We don't really want to be using either of those right now because they will activate the Defiant ability on my opponent's side of the field. I kind of want to overheat into the Bishop and just Thunderbolt. Do I Volt Switch? Yeah, let's Volt Switch into the Charizard. save Raikou for later on in the game. Thing is that the Bishop is sashed. Ooh, you see Mudsdale switching for the Charizard, so it's going to be able to block that. We see a Sucker Punch coming out into Raikou, doing big damage. Volt Switch not doing anything, but we do get the Overheat into that Bishop. Is it sashed? It is sashed. Okay. Right, so I'm going to Electro Web now. I'm going to switch Raikou out. And I'm going to bring in Scizor. Or I could have really brought in Tapu Bulu, to be honest, because with the Scarf it kind of baits in the Charizard as well, and we've got access to Rock Slide. So maybe that was the better option, but the game might pan out a little differently. We'll probably see a Sucker Punch into the Rotom here, you've got to imagine. You might see the Bishop just switch out. But look how much damage that Sucker Punch does. And you can imagine, especially with a Defiant boosted one as well, it's going to be doing huge amounts of damage. So we'll withdraw Raikou. Don't want to take another Sucker Punch, and we need it really for that Charizard Y later on. Bishop just protecting, so we're not really going to get much out of this turn with our Rotom, which is a bit unfortunate. What's Mudsdale going to go for? Rock Slide. It's going to do good damage to our Rotom Heat. Yeah. Maybe this is a good time to bring in Bulu. And let's Mega Evolve. Does the Bishop actually stay in or switch out? Because he could Roost just to get some health back. And then the next turn we could go for Rock Slide and Bullet Punch into the Bishop slot. Because you've got to imagine with the Bulu coming in, then we do threaten the KO with Wood Hammer on that Mudsdale, so we kind of want to potentially force it out and bring that Charizard Y back in. So Bishop Sucker Punch does fail. Get that Roost off, so we'll get all our health back that we lost from that Rock Slide initially. And this next Rock Slide shouldn't be doing as much damage. Yeah. Like I said, what I'm going to do now is go for a Rock Slide with Bulu, and I'm going to go for a Bullet Punch into that Bishop, because there's every chance that Bishop has access to Iron Head, so the Bullet Punch should pick up the KO from this range, even though it's resisted. So we're kind of just covering that a little bit, but we kind of got to hope that that Charizard Y comes back in. It's a good time for it to come back in, really. So let's hope we see it. Let's hope we see that switch out. No switch outs. Okay. Bullet Punch is just enough. We dig down the Bishop. Rock Slide. There's always a heavy slam chance as well from that Mudsdale. Boost that, activate that stamina ability as well. But we do get fortunate there with a flinch onto it. Okay. Charizard coming back in. We've revealed Rock Slide as well. Let's go for the Rock Slide again. And go for a Bug Bite. Because we haven't been intimidated. You've got to imagine the Rock Slide's going to be enough to take down the Charizard Y. Yeah, so it is Mega Evolving. Question is whether it protects here, or whether my opponent kind of detected the Rock Slide, or the Scarf the previous turn. We do see that Drought ability activate. Rock Slide, not protect, does make contact. Is it going to be enough to take it down? It is! Excellent. Okay, so that's the biggest threat, I would say, on my opponent's team gone. We do activate that Stamina ability again, and that Mudsdale is getting a bit carried away. I'm hoping with the Bug Bite, it's got a, like one of those 50% pinch berries, so we can just steal that. Doesn't look like it has, though. Flinches again. Oh, this is super unfortunate for my opponent. But now what we want to do is just get Blue out of here. To bring it back in and take advantage of a Wood Hammer or a Horn Leech later on in the game. Cresselia coming in for my opponent. Okay. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's switch in Raikou and go for a Bug Bite into Cresselia. We'll see what this Mudsdale goes for. Because there's every chance a Trick Room gets set up now, and we've not really got too much to kind of stop that. We could have stayed in and went for a Rock Slide again and a Bug Bite, but... Ooh, Crest revealing Ashley. Calm Mind. No. No Trick Room. But we know it's slower than Scizor, so the next turn we can just go for another Bug Bite. Heavy Slam coming out. So we were very fortunate with those flinches every time we got them, because otherwise I think any of those times it got it, I think maybe a Heavy Slam probably would have picked up the Chaos, so very, very lucky there. We'll just go for a Hidden Power. And Hidden Power Ice into the Mudsdale and another Bug Bite into Cresselia, and my opponent just forfeits. So it was a good game. I think we got very fortunate with the flinches, but like, because I think the Heavy Slam would probably pick up the KO there regardless. But I've had so I'm just an apology to my opponent there, because I think the match would have been a lot different. The first flinch was probably the biggest one, because that gives us the opportunity to be in a position to KO that Charizard the next turn. If we hadn't had that, it would have made it very difficult to kind of maneuver around that Charizard Y. I mean, we had Rotom-H in the back, which does help with that, but then we lose, you know, we're not really going to be wanting to sit and just take Rock Slides over and over with Rotom. The next one that we took from Mudsdale probably would have procced our Citrus Berry, so we probably could have taken at least another 2, maybe 3. But still, it would have been extremely difficult. And Scizor, when Charizard Y is on the field and we can't pressure it straight away, is in a really bad position. So it would have meant losing that, and then the Cresselia War at the end, very difficult. So I think we got away with that by the skin of our teeth, fortunately. But very good games, nevertheless, and it's been amazing fun playing this team. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode today. It's been very good, a little bit longer than kind of planned. As always, the QR code team, like I mentioned earlier, is in the description below, with the blog post as well from the Japanese player that put it up. So big shout out to him. Very cool team, some nice ideas to kind of take forward as well. You know, you don't always need to look at the more popular Pokemon in the format. You know, you've got things like Rotom-H that are very good niche picks that do very well against a lot of Pokemon. You've got Gastrodon as well, obviously always going to be good when rain's quite relevant, and the Mega Scizor performed quite well today, so I was it was nice. It felt good playing it. It felt comfortable playing it. So, and it did a decent job. And you saw the damage that it did to that Cresselia. Like, it's just ridiculous, which is pretty insane. So, all in all, successful episode, I think. Do let me know what your thoughts are on the team, on the games that we played today, on anything and everything to do with today's episode. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in general. And if you've got suggestions for next week's Battle Spot Doubles team, do let me know, and we will make that happen. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. As always, if you've enjoyed the episode, do leave a like. It does massively help out the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we have masses and masses of VGC content, and we'll be ramping it up another gear when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon drop in just over a week and a half. Can't wait. Do come by the stream tomorrow night if you want to hang out, have some viewer battles, 8 PM UK time, Greenwich Mean Time, and that'll be a lot of fun. But if not, I will see you all on Friday for an episode of A School of Hard Knocks, and we will be announcing the winners of that prize draw for that Mimikyu and Snorlax plushes, and then we'll be kind of on the run down to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, won't we? So, until then, guys, take care of yourselves, have a great time whatever you're doing, and I will see you next time. So until then, bye-bye!